Good day. Welcome to Drafting and Design Center. Drafting and Design Center provides training services in civil engineering. Here is how we can design one-way slab using robot structural analysis software. Once you open up Robot Structural Analysis Professional, you can click New Projects. Now, I'm intended to design the slab 3.5 meter in a X direction and 8 meter in a Y direction, having a live load of 4 kN per meter and dead load of 5 kN per meter. And that loading comes from when you calculate the load above the slab's equipment vehicle and using standard code. So let's just start to do designing using RSA. As you can see, my screen is able to work now. X and Y direction is in here. The first step is to create a 3.5 meter by 8 meter slab, which I will do by just clicking the slab wizard. It is a quick tool to be able to create a slab configuration and do calculation as well. I have noticed that my wall unit is in feet, which I want to replace by MKS system. Canceling. Yes. Click here. And I will open up the code default.cov file, which I have already created in IS standard. Notice that all the dimensions has been changed. Just need to use IS code in here. And once you're happy with the changes of the country code, you can say OK, and you can check it manually as well. Slab wizard. Going to propose my thickness is 0.18, 180 millimeter, 18 centimeter, 3.5 millimeter. You can able to create using axis in here as well. So basically, if I go back to frontal view and then study and so that just slab. When I click here, I can able to analyze the property. Concrete slab material C25, 330 kN per millimeter square, which I'm happy with. Thickness is assigned is 180 millimeter, 18 centimeter. The area of slab is 28 meters square, and as you can see here, the name of the panel is 1. Now once you do that one, let's start to apply the loading. Going in the load type, it will be dead load as well as live load, and I will have an accidental load, which is third load. And I will just create one more combination. Manual combination, ULS combination 1, and the other thing pops up by itself. Shift. Before that, I want to change the factor, which is dead and live load. I will an accidental load. I will able to apply the factor of 1.5. So just 1.5. Dead load is 1.2 and live load I want to apply to 1.5. Shift all together and apply both. Notice that the factor is already been there. So now you have a dead load, live load, etc. and the combination 1 which you already created. Let's start to the dead load will itself act for the weight of the structure. I will then apply live load being 4 km per meter. Just click the panel, -4, add panel 1, you can click the load symbol to be able to see that one, and accidental load. So that's accidental load, -5, add close. Once application of load, I will start to calculate it and able to understand deflection and shear. The one more thing we have stop doing it is didn't do is support. So let's just do the support first. So support, linear, and fix. You're able to check that. And I will recalculate the calculations. No error at this time. I'm interested in combination 4. and results. So that's just data 1, and you have a results of FZ, MX and MY, as you can able to see that one. One. Deformation, as you can able to see, the value is about to be 0. So once you're happy with the results and able to proceed ahead, we can go in geometry, remove all the symbols because they're just having a clear the values. Design, required reinforcement for RC slab, code parameter, that's floor. You can add the parameter as a new name and to, and it will be there all settings as when you need it. Main reinforcement automatic, it should be in X, along the X, but that's not the case, so just leave it in a automatic. Material we can define and grade of the concrete, SLS criteria for deflection, environmental class it exposed to, crack width criteria for the standard of given standard, country standard, reinforcement minimum I use 12 dia, which I'm okay with that, cover 3 centimeter. I'm okay with that. Add and it goes. N2 is appeared. I will click the panel, apply. As you can see symbol here, close. Again going back, design, calculation, panel number 1 is already there. So in this case calculation is completed. Reinforcement map, it will provide indication of require reinforcement, bottom X direction, and top direction. As you can see, here is the indication of reinforcement required is being maximum along the edges, around 3 cm square per meter along the Y direction is also the maximum. Number of bars and the values I can also apply. As you can see, the values are there. In a central zone we have minimum reinforcement. At the edges X looks like a maximum. And then you can able to adjust the scale as you like. Now clicking on a provided design reinforcement, just clearing selecting the slab, going to the provided RC element design, as you can see here is the required reinforcement is an area is been provided. The area of required reinforcement is provided. That is being negative X and Y being bottom, top slab being bottom slab, and top slab in both directions. The first step here is just going calculation options, cover I'm happy with, which we already defined. Reinforcing bar I will just speed 12, deselect everything, 12, 20, 16, 4 picks, and punching, which I'm not just accepting default. Punching is when it just come in contact with the pillar. Column, I'm not too specific about this particular example. I will just go ahead with the default. Settings, reinforcement parameter, select the bar, 12, minimum 10 and 12. Selection is automatic. not changing the direction of this one. The wire fabric direction is already been chosen. Construction reinforcement is being already applied. Support, I'm just adding that. Shapes, main bar, and distribution bar. I should be able to in some settings here, but I'm not able to see the reinforcement setting. I'm happy with that right now. Okay. Next thing is to just calculate, and you can able to have drawings to be able to create it. As you can see here is a reinforcement map. The diameter is 12, and notice in here is reinforcement we have provided is the x direction. Spacing is 30 centimeter, and required and provided we are being bit surplus in that sense, and we are providing bit higher reinforcement. Just clicking drawings. This indicates the aggregate size. Three 3.5 meter wide and 8 meter slab, 12 dia. This is length. That being in top slab, that being bottom slab, this being quantities of the reinforcement. Geometry and slab reinforcement. That's a grade, diameter, number of quantities, and length. Detail of that. Summary table. Fabrics we are not providing it. So right clicking here, zoom in 3D. I can have a top reinforcement. So that is 12 bar length. The spacing is already provided. And that's again top reinforcement. That's just in X direction, and that being in the Y direction. All reinforcement quantities are here. Going back in drawings, spacing, slab drawing. Just adding a bit of extra setting to be able to understand properly. You can add the template, define one more templates if you wish to. Scale you can able to change. So you have a twelve dia along the y direction, and that's along the x direction. It comes to number of 24 numbers, and the spacing is already included. It should be in a drawing. So along the x direction, 30 meter of spacing, and along the y direction. So the 12 dia length and the spacing along the direction is 30 centimeter. Now when I calculate this example using Indian codes, and these are the calculation, this is the beam I was talking about, 3.5 by 8 meter. The loads I mentioned, we use dead load as well as live load and accidental load. The load factor we use is about dead load 1.5 times self weight plus dead load and accidental load being live load. And in this example I'm coming up with about 10 door 50 millimeter spacing, which here in the case we use 12 door of 30 centimeter spacing, and this was analyzed only for meter length of this one, 160 meter thick slab. We do provide training in civil engineering. Please send us an email at draftinganddesigncenter@gmail.com. Visit our website www.draftinganddesigncenter.com. Once again, thanks very much for watching. Any comments always appreciated.